Welcome along. Today we're taking a look at the Massey Ferguson Old Generation 1970 to 1990 pack. This is by Black Sheep Modding and is available as part of the mod contest. This is a vast array of equipment. I think there's 24 items in total. And yeah, it looks amazing. Basic setup is really nice. In my testing and my checking, though, I have come across a couple of issues, mainly surrounding this here. The Cultivator has some problems. Otherwise, it's really quite a nice pack. It's let down a bit by that, but it's quite a nice pack. So we will start off by sort of going through all the equipment. So you got the Massey Ferguson MF5 baler. This is a standard size baler, so this is a 4,000 litre Bale baler. Really cracking piece of equipment. I think I might be using that on a fairly regular basis. We have a log grab. We have the aforementioned cultivator, the MF23, the MF30 seed drill, the MF110 trailer, the 274C tracked tractor, the front bucket with teeth, which is that's fantastic. I love that, and the Bale spike, which also serves as forks, so you can customize that to have forks instead. The front loader attachment. The front loader itself. The Massey Ferguson 675, which is cabless. The MF140 trailer. The 885 windrower and header. So this both cuts and rows grass. Flatbed trailer and even lower flatbed trailer. I think this is mainly for the header for the cutter, but you can put almost anything on it. I brought the plow here on this actually. The 260 corn, well, chaffer, for lack of a better term. Yeah, for doing corn chaff, and then the 200 for grass collection. Forager for grass. So yeah, forager for corn and forager for grass. Those are the words I'm looking for. The 675 cab diversion. 4-wheel drive as opposed to 2-wheel drive, although I think that might be an option. So we'll go through the options for these in a bit. The 3000 series, which looks gorgeous. A non-reversible plow, the MF160, the MF-SD2 chisel plow, stroke subsoiler, the MF11 fertilizer spreader, and then a big weight, which I think is probably serves as a rear weight. There is also, actually think about it, front weight here, which is currently attached to the 274C. So they're all fantastic looking models. Really like them. We are going to, we'll jump in the 3000 and have a look at the interior of that, because they all have different interiors. Actually quite nicely detailed, although I think lacking polish is probably my best description. It still looks a little bit rough around the edges, but in general is nice. No IC at all, so it does lack that. If we start her up, we have a speedo and a rev counter animated on the console, and it looks like we might also have, yeah, we have animated fuel gauge as well. So that's quite nice. Or we'll just check all the lights. So we pop out left, oh sorry, right and left, and hazard, a beacon, hazards, brake lights, full working lights, front and back, with different levels as well, and yeah, really quite nice. I do like that. If you see my previous one, the grill on this is very nicely modelled, is not looking flat at all. You see why I had an issue with the other one in the 200 series one. Then we have the 675 here. This is the 600 series tractor. Again, we'll have a quick look on the inside of the cab. Similar issue here in that it's nice, but it lacks polish. It's yeah, it's still a little bit. It's got a little bit of sharp edges. It looks like a model in places. I know it is a model, but again, no IC. We have speedo, and yeah, looks like everything is. Yeah. Oh, we do have lights on the dashboard. So if we... Yes, so the indicator, I do like that. So indicators give stuff. Doesn't look like there's much else other than... Oh, if we do the hazards... Oh no, that's the beacon. Yeah. So the hazard one doesn't light up, even though it has it. We will come outside, and so the beacon works, hazards work, left indicator, right indicator, brake lights, standard lights, work lights rear, and work lights front. So yeah, that's all working quite nicely. We are going to take one of these out for a spin in a moment. So the 885, the inside of this, we'll have a look. Well, it's fairly fairly basic, this piece of equipment, but looks okay. Again, the on the floor there, that's not as well detailed a texture as I feel it could be. Yeah, it feels a little unfinished. If we look at the outside, we have beacon. Lights, but only lights, not anything greater than that. Left indicator, right indicator. No, sorry, right indicator, left indicator, and hazards. Yeah, brake lights, all good. Now the sounds from these we'll go over in a minute. But right, so beacon works nicely. Right indicator, left indicator, brake lights, hazards, standard lights, but no work lights because we don't have a cab or anything to mount them on. And then the last one here, so we'll have a look in this as well. The cabless ones, I think, look nicer than the cabbed ones. It's almost, it's like he's had to take a little more time to do these ones because they're more visible. Beacon, right indicator, left indicator, hazards, brake lights, and standard lights. No work lights. I actually quite like this 274C. But that's so that's an overview of the tractors as well. I like them. As I said, there's a little bit. I like them. I don't love them, I think is the best way to describe it. They all feel, especially the interiors, feel like there's a little bit of TLC that's needed. Right, so we are going to go And I think we're going to cut a bit of grass. We'll try the windrower out, and we'll see how that works. So if we start it up. Now all the sounds, as far as I can tell, are standard in-game sounds. So the tractor, I'm not quite sure where that sound comes from, but certainly the two 600 series tractors, those are both. Those sounds come from the Hurleyman, because I used a Hurleyman to bring some of the equipment up here, and was struck by how similarly this I think comes from the little case combine, and the 3000 series, the sound for that comes from the case 1400 tractors that are standard in game. So we'll turn this on. That's the standard mower, which to me strikes me as a little bit of a strange sound for this header. It's not a sound I would have expected. But it does do the job. It does the job nicely. It works very nicely, this. And that is what I would want from this. It's a great little thing like that. I think it's the mower noise that it has, in all honesty, does annoy me a bit. It doesn't, to me, it just doesn't sound right for this. This, yeah. This is not without its issues, this mod pack. I can understand why he's gone for the mower sound, but it is off-putting to me. But it does work well. I like the functionality for it, but it's yeah, doesn't quite sound right. So we'll part this back up. The other one we're going to go and check out quickly is the Baler, because I think the Baler looks amazing. I have caught that. That's interesting. I've got a collision there that is a long way from it. So we'll move that in a minute. Right. So we're going to use the 6000 series here with the cab. Oh, let's turn that other one off. And you can hear that. That is absolutely the sound from the Hurleyman. And I don't necessarily fault that. You know, those are decent sounds. But it's one of those things where if I'm looking at it, I'm going, does that make it a 5-star tractor? Does that? And that's, I think that's my issue with this mod pack. So this is working, yeah, this is working nicely. I would, to be honest, I wouldn't expect anything else from Black Sheep's balers. I've used several of his ones already, and they are fantastic. It does have the hitch on it as well, so that you could use the bale stacker that comes with all of Black Sheep's other balers. But that is working a treat. We will get a second bale out of this, and we will stop doing that at this point. But that is, yeah, that is working very nicely. 85. So yeah, that works. Let's unload. Oop. There we go. So 2 great bales. So all in all, this is a cracking little mod pack. It really is. Other than the fact that other than the fact of the issues, I wouldn't use the cultivator. I will demonstrate why I wouldn't use the cultivator in a minute. But yeah, the cultivator is the big letdown of the pack. It is unfinished. It does have it has an issue that I've seen in a multiplayer game that just caused absolute chaos. And yeah, from that point of view, I can't recommend the using the cultivator at all, which to me is the biggest letdown of the pack. Everything else is quite nice, if missing a little bit of polish, I think is the best description. So let's have a look in the shop and just go through everything. Easiest way is to go into here, into the brands, and into the Massey Ferguson. It's all under this. So going through quickly, most of these don't have customizations. The ones that do, I will pop into quickly and go through them. But the SD2 is 4,500. Is £7 a day maintenance. Requires 88 horsepower. Has a 5-meter width. Now that, because I'm looking at the wrong item. Right, the SD2, let's try this again, is £4 a day, requires 88 horsepower, has a 2-meter width, and a maximum speed while using it of 9 miles an hour. Nice little chisel plow that works well. Massey Ferguson Baler, this is one of the nicest things in this pack. It's a standard baler. It's £45 a day. Its greatest feature is its standard 4,000 litre baler with 85 horsepower requirement. That is an awesome piece of equipment, and yeah, I see myself using that a fair amount. You got the fertilizer spreader, £5 a day, 2,000 litres in it, 20-metre reach and 12 mile an hour use. I'm just going to pop in here, no upgrades on that. The 1512 log grab is £3 a day. Yeah, nice little. If you want to do an old forestry setup, this actually would be a great little pack to use. Cultivator, the MF23, £7 a day, 88 horsepower, 5-meter width. A good width actually on that cultivator. It's a pity that cultivator has such issues, because it's a great width for, again, for not a lot of horsepower. So yeah, that's a pity. I really wish that was better. The Massey Ferguson 30 is 4-meter width, 500 litres of seed. Does fertilizer as well, apparently. I've not seen that, and it doesn't seem. The time I've used that, I've not seen the fertilizer indicator, and I've not seen. So I'm wondering if that's an error. I need to test that further, but I've not seen fertilizer go into this, or the ability to put fertilizer in it, and yet it seems to have. Let me just double check that. Okay, no, it is just seed. I am talking rubbish. Yeah, so it's seed, and those are the seeds. So that's not the fertilizer indicator. Again, 80 horsepower, 4 meters, good piece of equipment that. Front loader, I love that that is a different model of hitch to everything else. Works really nicely. Then you got the front loader fork. The front loader fork is customizable. You have either spikes or with fork. With fork is an extra £250. So it's 600 base and 850 max. It's £5 a day cost. Similarly, there are customizations on the bucket. You can either have standard or with teeth for an extra £250. So £990 standard, 1,240 with the teeth, and £9 a day maintenance. Yeah, maintenance is unchanged by adding the teeth. Then you have the 110 trailer. That comes in standard or with loading wall. A loading wall is an extra 250. So it's 850 standard, 875 with the loading wall, and £8 a day for the upkeep, and takes 10,000 litres. The Bale trailer is £6 a day. It does have customizations as well. So standard or with ladders. The ladders, again, extra £250. Take it from 6,500 to 6,750. In both cases, it is £6 a day. The MF140 has a capacity of 14,000 litres, costs £12 a day. That also can have the loading wall added for £250. So £12,800 without the loading wall and £13,050 with. You've got the non-reversible plow, the MF160, which is £4 a day, 80 horsepower, 1.9 metre width, and 9 mile an hour usage. No customizations on that. Then you have the MF200 forage harvester for grass. With no upgrades, it is £6 a day. Horsepower requirement doesn't list the horsepower requirement, so that is a minor issue. I'm to have all this detail and everything and not have something like that on that is a little bit annoying, especially when its equivalent, the equivalent forage harvester for corn does list it. So I'm guessing that's 80 horsepower, but it doesn't list it, and that's slightly annoying. Interestingly, though, this does do, I think, is that grass windrows that that's doing, or is that straw? That is wood chips. Yeah, that's grass. So wood chips, not sure what that is, and grass. So it's corn. So wood chips, corn and grass. How that picks up corn, I'm not quite sure. But that is interesting. But yeah, missing its power requirements. And then we've got the MF260. No customizations. £7 a day. It requires 80 horsepower. Has a 2 metre working width and 6 miles an hour is how it goes at. Is the max speed you can do while using it. The MF Series 200C. This is a nice tractor. Standard setup. £18 a day. 88 horsepower. 120 litres of fuel and 24 miles an hour. Customizations on this. Front loader attacher adds 800. The engine setup, so the 274C gives you 66 horsepower. The 294C gives you 88 horsepower and costs an extra 6,500. So yeah, that is the only engine upgrade. And then the design, you've got your standard, you've got with sunshade for an extra 1,000, and that's it. So maximum cost of this with the most expensive upgrades is 26,300 up from 18,000. So these are all reasonably priced, to be honest. These are very reasonably priced. Weight, no maintenance for the weight, for the 600 kilogram. A nice little weight attached to the front of all these tractors. And then you got your rear weight, which is 250 kilograms. That has no customizations either. And is 1,100. Then we have the Series 600 without and with cab. Now, I'm kind of questioning why these are two separate tractors. You could have added the cab in as a customization for 300. Looking at this. The without cab is £20 a day. Standard horsepower is 66. It takes 100 litres of fuel and goes at 24 miles an hour. You can add a front loader attacher. Engine setups are the 675, the 690 that has 75 horsepower and costs £35 a day maintenance, and the 698, which is 88 horsepower with no change to the maintenance, which costs 6,500, so an extra £1,000 more again. And then the 698T, which takes you up to 90 horsepower. And then the 699, so the 690T takes you, also is 6,800. And then the 699 is takes you up to 95 horsepower for £6,800. I think that is it. Yeah, so that is the most expensive upgrade for that. Wheel setup, you have your standard, your wide, and your narrow, and your rear twins. And you can also do two-wheel drive, which is no difference in cost from the standard. So the most expensive of those is the rear twin wheels for 800. Everything else, yeah. So your wides are 700, your narrows are 6, and your rear twins are 8. And then design-wise, you've got standard, and you've got wind sunshade, and you've got the forestry version. So yeah. So standard sunshade adds 1,000, forestry adds 1,000. So we will go forestry here, as that's most expensive. So you base price for this tractor is 19,500. Maximum cost of upgrades is 8,600. So maximum cost of this tractor is 28,100. And then the Series 600 with cab. And you can see here that, again, it is the same settings. So you got the 690 for 550 with 75 horsepower, the 698 for 6,500 to 88 horsepower, the 698T for 6,800, which gives you 90 horsepower, and the 699, which gives you 95 horsepower for 6,800. Wheel setup, again, wide tyres for £700, narrow tyres for 6, rear twins for 8, and two-wheel drive for nothing. And then design-wise, you have standard, forestry for 1,000, and that's it. So, to be honest, I don't see any reason why the cabbed version here and the standard version and the cabless version aren't a single tractor option in here. Adding the cab seems to be an option, and the 290 that I did in the previous review, that does that. So yeah, that's a bit strange to me. The cutter has no upgrades. It's £20 a day. It is a 5 metre width, 12 miles an hour, and requires the MF 885 to connect to use it. You've got the T885 flatbed. That is officially classed actually in here as a header trailer for the cutter. But you can, as I said, you can put other stuff on it very easily. It's fairly versatile, that, so I quite like that. Then you've got the 885 mower or windrower. It is a £15 a day, 80 horsepower, 280 litres of fuel, 18 miles an hour. No upgrades or anything like that. For 15,800. And then you got the Series 3000 for our last one. That is £45 a day. It has 63 horsepower in this configuration, 100 litres of fuel and 24 miles per hour. You can have a front loader attached for 800. The 3050 is the 63 horsepower. The 3060 is 72 horsepower and ups the maintenance to £60 a day. And the 3070 ups you to 85 horsepower, but keeps the maintenance at £60 a day. And the 3080 ups you to 90 horsepower for 6,800. And then the 3090 ups you to 102 horsepower for 6,800. So they the various upgrades of the sizes, yeah. So it's 5,500 to the 3060, 6,500 to the 3070, 6,800 to 3080, and the 3090. And those are all the engine upgrades. Wheel setup, you have standard rear twins being 800, narrows being 600, and wide being 800. And then the design, you have standard and forestry. Forestry adds £1,000. I do like the fact that there is forestry options for the tractors. Those work quite well, I think. And so base price is 45,000. With maximum priced upgrades, you are looking at a total of 54,400. And that is it. So we will head back out and we will conclude. All in all, it's a nice set, but it's let down. It is let down by a few issues. The one issue I will show you quickly in here is if I purchase another copy of the Cultivator. Okay, we'll head over to the shop and we can have a look at that quickly. So there's the shop, we will visit that. So we have the Cultivator here, and I need to put on the debug to show this, and this I think is what's causing the problem. You can see these two red rectangles. Now those shouldn't be there. They're solid hard objects, and what they are is those labels. There's a tick box in GE that needs to be unticked for those labels to stop them causing a problem. So I think that is what is the problem that was happening in the multiplayer that I was doing yesterday on Rainbow Dave's with this, or sorry, on Saturday with Rainbow Dave's server with these. I think those are causing a problem. So yeah, so that is that actually is the center of the problem with that Cultivator. So we will head back to the tractors. Enter that, and that is where we'll end. Nice set, but let down by a couple of issues. Needs a little bit of polish. And then it would be 5 stars. As it stands, as it's set in the mod competition, this to me is a 4-star set, which is a pity. It did have the potential originally to win this competition, and yeah, it's missing that last little bit of polish that would have made it a competition winning entry, in my opinion. But for now, all that really remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this mod spotlight. Please give it a like, drop us a comment and give it a share. And for all the latest videos and live streams for Virtual Farmer, please subscribe to the channel. I will see you next time. Goodbye.